Hello my friends and welcome back to my channel, Minimum Player Count. I am Stephanie. Thank you so much for joining me here today. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below if you like my videos and share with your friends or family if you think that they would benefit from these videos. Now today we are going to be taking a look at Camp Pinetop. This is by Talon Strike Games. So without further ado, let's get started. Rise and shine, campers. It's your first day of camp here in Camp Pinetop, and we're going to take a look at what you're going to be doing while playing this game. Now, you'll be setting up your board with these cards, and the way you set up the board is depending on the scenario you're playing. If you're playing in like a solo or multiplayer, will tell you how many cards you'll be setting out. Now, on the back of these cards, there's going to be a gray, a green, and a blue, if I can find it here. These are all a little shuffled. A blue background that's going to tell you how many of these cards you'll be putting out. So on a single card, you'll see that there are badges that can be earned, and there's little symbols at the bottom left corner of each card. This is telling you what cards need to be played to be able to collect one of these badges. Now, backing up a little bit, when you first start the game, you'll be selecting a color, a player color. So you'll be getting 4 campers, and then you'll also be getting your player board, and you'll also be getting your own little badges here. Now these badges are also shown on the side of the board. That helps you when you're actually getting a badge to reflect that you have that badge. Once you collect that badge, you also get a skill that is on there. Now the green skills are usually one-time only skills, and the blue squares and the diamonds are skills that can be used either reoccurring or more than once, continuously. When you play this game, as you can see, you start out here as a lonely possum and you try to work your way all the way up to what I think is a honey badger. It could just be a badger, but I like calling it a honey badger, so we're gonna do that. And when you see on this card here, you have your starting hand, which you are able to hold up to 8 in your hand. Now, when you start the game, you'll be getting 3 cards to start your hand, and you'll be placing one of your campers on the main board. Now, there will be a draw pile with 2 sides of that draw pile. There's gonna be a left and a right side. When you're playing the game, you typically are only able to draw off of one side, but if you do get skills later that will allow you to draw from both sides, that is very helpful. There are also something called a switchblade that is any kind of icon that you need. So those are wilds in this game. Now when you draw up to 2 cards, unless of course there is a switchblade. If there's a switchblade up, you're only able to draw that 1 card and not 2. So you're kind of losing out on a card to get that wild. So as you can see notated on the cards here, there's gonna be an icon and also like a diamond or a circle or a square. That is for helping with a different portion of the game that I will get to. So when you move one of your characters onto a piece, what you'll be doing is, if I would say move my character over from this recruiter badge, I would collect that recruiter badge by paying the cost that is shown in the corner here. So it would be a pink and a yellow. Now, as you can see, as you level up from each of these creatures, your hand size will be going down. But the way you actually upgrade is if you have 2 green, 2 squares, or 2 diamonds, your hand size goes down 1. As soon as you meet any of the requirements that follow these animals, you immediately have to upgrade to the next badge, because of course you're earning more badges, so you become more elite. Now, as you can see, there are also these arrows with like dots on there. That is an upgraded item. What that means is, say instead of the recruiter, I got recruiter again by paying the cost that's shown on the card, I would flip this over and it is now an advanced recruiter badge. That allows me to upgrade from here on, but it also gives you special skills that are more powerful as you upgrade your skills. One other thing to know is there are 4 actions that you're able to do on your turn, and those actions are draw 2 cards from the supply, draw 1 card and move, and when you move, you're only able to move 1 space, and then you're able to draw 1 card. You're able to move and collect a badge, or you're able to pay 2 cards of the same kind of icon so that you can place a new camper on the main board. When I talk about icons, what I'm talking about is not the blue icons that you see. It's actually these little icons underneath. So this is a green circle. This is a gray diamond. In the game, there are going to be different symbols on the board. So you want to be placing two of the same. So in this case, if I place these two cards, I can say, well, now I can place one of my workers on any of the green circle spaces that are shown. This game also does come with different expansions, or you can purchase different expansions, which add more depth to the game. But one of the things that we did is there are little mastery cards that you have on the game. So you'll be placing 4 out on a 2-player game, and those will give you specific types of goals to also work towards before your opponent does, because if you do, there is 3 badges up at the top, but there's also a better badge that's usually shown on the lapel of one of these jackets that you're also able to claim. Now, once somebody claims one of these, that doesn't mean that you can't later in the game. You can still claim them to even like upgrade, say, if you already have that badge. It does give more of an advantage, so you don't have to pay cards if you're able to finish the requirements that are shown on these little cards. Now, I want to briefly cover also the solo play, which is very awesome in this game. So on the back of the main player boards, you do have these boards that are different on each of these 5 player boards that you have. So when you start out the game, you also get a book here that is only for solo scenarios. So the solo scenarios will walk you through how to set up, what the difference is, and then it'll tell you, give you a little synopsis of your first day of camp. It has a little story here, and then also tells you kind of how you're going to be setting up the board. In the solo play, it is difficult. There are expert badges that you can also obtain, which are kind of essential, I feel like, when you keep going up in the gameplay. Like, if you finish the expert mode on the first story, you win the quick learner patch. But to actually win this patch, you have to win with at least 5 cards remaining in the draw pile. When you play a game with 2 players or more, you'll be recycling cards once you run out. But in the solo game, you're actually going to be reducing the amount of cards you have, and then you can only draw from the pile that you have out in front of you. Once you run out of that draw pile in the solo mode, the game is over. Like I said, each of these have different types of examples of boards, which is very cool for this game too, to not only think of, hey, we're going to be making a game for multiple players, but we're also going to be really emphasizing the solo play. This game is very good solo, in my opinion. I've played up to 3 so far, and they are all different. I don't want to spoil too much for you, but they do have different skills or abilities that you'll be working towards, like paying more cards to get to certain places, or by having to discard cards to make noise because you're gonna have different animals walking around you, things like that. That is super cool, that I really, really enjoy in this game. Again, there are some expansions that I have seen on Talon Strike Games' actual website too that offer this kind of expansion here, which adds more variability to your gameplay. And honestly, this is a really great game for being so simple. This is a game that I love that's solo, 2-player, and I'm already wanting to play with more players to see what the maximum player count would be, because this game offers a lot of depth and strategy for such a little game, and honestly, there's a lot packed into this. Make sure to check out Camp Pinetop if you can on Talon Strike Games website. I will be linking that down below for you as well, so if you want to check it out and see how much it is and try to get a copy for yourself, I would say do so, because I like it and it's just a very cute game. It reminds me just a little bit of Parks, mainly because it's just outside, and it also has, like, you know, that camping moving kind of feel, because you're moving your campers. In this case, you're moving these campers, so not that similar, but I like that theme. It's a very cute theme that always seems to resonate well with me, and it seems like in the 2 games that I've played that have this overall theme, they work really well. So great job to Talon Strike Games. Thank you so much for watching my video. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment again down below. Let me know how you like this video, if you've played this game, other Talon Strike games. I want to thank Talon Strike Games for sending me this game as well. I love this game. It's very fun. I hope you enjoyed this video, everyone, and I will see you all next time.